long it takes for manifestation come to life. For me, I know for my own, if resistance is not big and if pretty achievable in my head, if it's nothing too crazy, like when I attracted Hong Kong into our lives, so adoption, our son, I just felt in my gut feeling that it's fine, I can do it. It took me start to see the results in 2 weeks, like really, this is the bigger. The smaller for me, it may be 24 hours, 2 to 3 days, could be like this. And then some other people say, we want to know from Amanda because she's professional.
Yes. Oh, that's a great question. And there's actually a little bit of a two-part answer to that. And I'll give an example that I had this question this weekend too, which was, it's gonna take what it's gonna take.
Okay.
That being said, I can give you some insight onto the things that happen very quickly and take 24 hours or less, and then the things that take a little bit more time. The business women that I work with, they are manifesting, bringing in, right, stepping into that full wealth being, right? It can take a little bit longer. And it's because they're quantum leaping. Where they are right now and where they're like bringing in that quote unquote manifesting is over here. So it takes what it's going to take. However, it doesn't mean it always happens that way. And trust me, it's like very frustrating when you're like here and it's this thing over here you can't get. Again, that's quotes, can't get. You're like, okay, it's been a month. I'm so used to like pulling a lever, doing a little ritual, and what I want comes in like within a week. Why isn't this happening? I get it. I totally get it. This is where you take a deep breath and go, this is just, I'm stretching really big here and it's going to take as long as it takes. So here's an example of the things that can take a couple days, a couple weeks, a month. A woman at a workshop this weekend said, hi, I'm looking at buying a new house and the mortgage is more, and I'm not sure if it's okay for us to do that. I'm not sure if we can afford it. And I said, all right, so you're right here with, here's my current mortgage.
Sorry.
You're okay.
Yes.
Here's the mortgage, the new mortgage. It may have only been like an extra $800, right? Not much. She's not going from a $500 apartment to a multi-million-dollar home, right? Like it's a very small step for her.
Settle.
Yeah. And so I said, all right, well, do you believe that the universe provides, right, for your base needs right now, plus any like other things? And she said, yes. I was like, okay, well, let's say you go ahead, you get the house, they were approved and everything, right? The bank approved them and whatnot. Said you get this house and you step into it and go, this is my new base need. Do you feel like the universe will provide that new base need? And she said, of course. And I was like, that's the key. You're doing this subtle step. And I was like, all right, so here is your first question today, right? Now you move into this new house, you're over here. Let's say the next thing you want is maybe a couple RVs for the land. You can get on your little like RV bikes and you and the kids can go around. So you're at this extra place and you're going, okay, well, the universe provided for this home. We feel really good in it. We're feeling expansive. We're accepting it. It doesn't cause any triggers. Well, it could be nice to have some playthings. Yeah, I think the universe would let us have like some playthings, would provide for us. So taking her mindset just very slowly down the path. So that the RVs are over here. She goes, okay, let's get them. Now you're here. And you keep doing that month by month by month. So these are quick, short manifestations by month. At the end of the year, she's over here, right? Going from here to here might take a year, but do you see how it was each little step along the way got her there? And then the really cool thing is this, I said, pretend you and I were sitting back here. It's a year from now. Here's your new set point. And you're going, well, now I would like a boat. Boats. And she's like, oh my gosh, I couldn't. I'm like, exactly. But a year from now, you'd be like, actually, I've come so far that a boat could happen. Like her brain's saying these things. And she's like, yeah, I get it. So sometimes moving just a little bit, you're expanding just a little past the comfort zone. And then you get comfort in your new comfort zone. And you go,
Mhm.
oh, I think I'm ready to expand a little more. So you expand a little bit more from this new comfort zone and you're in a whole new one. So it's the baby steps. And when you get to the point where you're like, all right, boat, right? You've gone over these steps and you get to boat and you're like, okay, yacht. Well, the
Mhm.
yacht might take 6 months. The yacht might take a year. That's when you get into the it's going to take as long as it takes stage because you're ready for those quantum leaps. You're ready for, I am this wealth being. It simply is here, but it's a new type of practice. So that's why I said there's sort of a two-part answer to this. The average time depends on where you're at, what
Mhm.
type of step you try to take, how far out of your comfort zone it is. If you follow through, does that make sense?
Definitely 100%. I used to have a lot of, and still do, instant. I do have a lot of through chanting. I just feel like
Mhm.
open up my, I do a lot of chanting. This is when I receive messaging. So, for example,
Mhm.
apply for school or move to Hong Kong or go through adoption. This is when I just feel the most clear.
Yeah.
And this is when I just go for it. And it's the feeling, it's so, I am so sure, is like 100%. It's not even 1% doubt. So when I said to myself before, we're going to move to Hong Kong, there wasn't even any doubt, even though our contracts, our house, our jobs, our everything was in Hong Kong and
Yeah.
sorry, in Dubai, it was
Yeah. It was,
100%.
yeah.
So when we moved to Hong Kong, it for me was easy because I knew it. I don't know how I knew it. It's just I knew it. So I think it's very important, like you said, just to maybe do tapping when like EFT.
Mhm.
It really helped me, just clearing the blocks. Yes,
Mhm.
we can
And
also. Mhm.
yes, and each person, you'll find your unique way to let that in. So for me, if I'm feeling frustrated or stagnated, I go on a run. I go horseback riding. It's so funny. I actually went on a run last night and I usually never run in the evening. I usually run in the morning. And like I came back to my phone and it was like, oh, please send me the invoice. And I was like, oh, sweet. Okay, cool. So excited to welcome this new love into my circle. Right. So things like when I do things like that, just out of, ooh, I kind of want to feel a little bit better. Like, cause I was feeling like, we all do, right?
Yes,
From time to time, it's not about denying like, oh, I'm feeling a little bit cranky or I'm feeling a little frustrated or stuck. It's like, ooh, what feels good? I'm going to go do that instead, right? You don't dwell on it. And then you're gifted something. It's not always a
mhm.
sale. It's an opportunity, right? You talk about the
Definitely.
chanting and the tapping, a friend showing up, a friend offering you something, making a new friend. There's so many ways to recognize the universe delivering things to you.